What's going on YouTube? Here's my E3 predictions on Sony for this year. Now if there's any year for Sony to get serious and surprise people, it is this year, because we all know Sony's situation. You know, they're in some deep shit right now basically. You know, lost $6.2 billion, cut 2,000 employees, haven't made a profit within the last 4 years. You know, they've been switching around their management. Then it was recently reported that they lost $2.8 billion off the PlayStation division, so you know, basically, they have a lot to show their investors, you know, this year. And Kaz Hirai and other Sony CEOs, they're talking about how, you know, they've really doubled down on games. So I think Sony's E3 conference is going to be just all about games, games after games after games after games. I think it's just going to be jam-packed full of games. But I'll go ahead and say this. I actually think that the majority of the conference is actually going to be about the Vita. I'd say probably like 60-40. You know, 60% Vita, 40% PS3, because you know the PS3 is doing just fine. The PS3 is still you know, selling strong. For the most part, it's outselling the 360 monthly. You know, the PS3 has some really good ass sales, but they're kind of struggling with the Vita. You know, Vita is only at 2 million. You know, they're really struggling compared to the 3DS's, was it 17 or 18 million now? They really need to get the Vita selling. They really need to show some compelling software. So I think that, you know, they're going to show just tons and tons and tons of Vita games. Now the question is, will those be games that people actually care about? You know what I mean? Because, I mean, there is good Vita games out there, but it's either one, they're multiplats, or they're, you know, niche titles. Titles that specific little, you know, set of audience, you know, enjoys, but the general public does not. You see what I mean? A bunch of niche titles and multiplats. So they really need to show some, you know, games that appeal, you know, to the typical gamer, or to, you know, the mass market. They need to get the Vita off shelves, and I think that's going to be a really main, huge focus on their conference. Now, PS3 wise, I'm not expecting any surprise games. Maybe 1 or 2 surprise game announcements, but for the most part, I think all the surprises are actually going to come from the Vita. You know, that's just me. You know, that's the way I feel. I feel that they're really just going to focus on the Vita for the majority of the conference. So I think most of the surprise announcements are going to come, you know, on the Vita side, and a couple of, you know, here and there, you know, surprise things from the PS3. But you know, nothing too amazing, nothing too shocking, because y'all know how Sony is. The majority of their conferences, you know, are full of things we either know about or, you know, newer coming, you know, things of that nature. If Sony really wanted to like shock everybody, they would give us a release date for The Last Guardian and for Final Fantasy 15. 14? 15. Those would be 2 very welcome announcements. Tell us that The Last Guardian is alive and it is coming out this year. That would be amazing. That would get people pumped. That would get people excited. It really would. But back to like what I was saying. For, you know, the PS3 side, I think they're going to focus mainly with the Vita on the games. And on the PS3 side, there's probably going to be like 1 or 2 new game announcements. But for the most part, they're going to you know, go more in depth with games they've already announced, like God of War Ascensions, which would have been a pleasant E3 surprise. You know, and like I said in my PlayStation Battle Royale video, you know, there's a difference between announcing a game and then like completely just showing it off, which is what Sony has done, you know, with God of War Ascension. If you're going to announce it, you know, teaser trailer, you know, okay, that's fine. Show us it at E3, but no, they've already actually gone out and released multiplayer footage of God of War Ascension the month before E3. I just don't understand that. Like, I really don't. I just do not get it. I know some people say, oh, well, that's a free up space. No, Sony does this, you know, every year. They'll show a game, and that game will still be at the conference, and they'll still spend time on that game. So it's not a matter of, you know, freeing up space. You see what I'm saying? You know, PlayStation's Battle Royale, it would have been nice to see some gameplay, you know, actually revealed at E3, but they've already shown that and given some details on that. But those 2 games are definitely going to be at E3, and I expect a multiplayer demo from God of War Ascensions. And also, I expect multiplayer and little single player showing. You know, I expect them both because, you know, although it's, you know, multiplayer new to the God of War franchise, I think they're still going to understand that, you know, the single player is very important, you know, to a God of War game. PlayStation Battle Royale, I expect like a I expect like a CG trailer, kind of like, you know, Smash Bros. Style, where they like show like new characters that haven't been announced yet. I think that will actually be really cool. Kind of like how the was it 2006, the 2006 trailer of Brawl. I think they're going to do something akin to that. I think that'll be really cool. So, I don't know. I just don't see Sony doing anything, software-wise with the PS3. By software, I mean, you know, like system update-wise. I really don't see a system update coming. Like I said, you know, Sony said that they're doubling down on games. They're just focused on games right now. So I think that's really what Sony's conference is going to be all about, you know, just the games. I wouldn't expect any system updates, new features or anything like that. Although, I do think they're going to push PSN Plus again. You know, try to get more people to subscribe to that because, you know, they could use that, you know, extra money right now. What's up, bro?
Hello.
That was scary. Don't do that.
Yeah, okay.
I hate my family. But, yeah, like I said, if they were to give a release date to Last Guardian and Final Fantasy 15, like, that would make me good on the games front for PS3. Like, that would make me good because everybody has wanted to see those games. You know, but like I said, I think the majority of the conference is going to be Vita focused because they need to get that thing, you know, just flying off of shelves. Any more like surprise appearances, like something akin to Gabe Newell? You know, nah, you know, I don't think so. Like I said, I really don't just expect any Megaton, you know, announcements from Sony because they really never have done that. You know, Sony conferences have always been full of content, but at the same time they're boring because the way they present them. You see what I'm saying? Or because we already know that that content existed, we already knew that that content was coming. You see what I mean? So, you know, of course I'm going to expect it to be more like that, but I think that we're going to be pleasantly surprised with what they have to show off with the Vita and things like that. And there's going to be one or two, you know, pleasant surprises with the PS3, but for the most part, they're just going to be going over games like PlayStation Battle Royale and God of War Essentials, and they're also going to be, I don't know if it already has a release date, but if it doesn't, they're definitely going to, you know, announce a release date for Sorcery. That game is coming extremely late. They should have released that a long time ago. That would have moved some, move sales. But yeah, they're definitely going to have Sorcery there and whatnot. So that's going to be there. Is there any games I'm missing that have like already been announced / shown? I don't think so, but you know, I think Sony's gonna come out and be like, "Hey, we're this company, you know, that cares about the hardcore gamer," because they know good and well that Microsoft is slipping right now, and Microsoft's all about the Connect crowd. So I think Sony's gonna try to capitalize on that and say, "Hey, look at us, you know, we still care about the gamer. You know, screw Microsoft, come to us. We have all these games. You know, we're all about the hardcore gamer." I think they're going to capitalize on that, and they're really going to try to, you know, impress their investors because they really need to do that because their investors have like no faith in them right now. There's a bunch of their stockholders talking about Sony's going down under, you know, they're done, things of that nature. So I think Sony's going to try, you know, their damnedest to try to, you know, turn that mind frame around. So for the most part, I think they're going to have a good conference this year. I really think that it's going to be better than the last three. I really think it is because, like I said, they have to come out strong. You know, Sony doesn't have a choice, you know, to have a lackluster conference. They can't afford that. You know, they need a really awesome conference. So I think they're going to do it. But that's it for my Sony video. Nintendo is next. Look forward to that one. I'll see you guys later.